What is something you know but you're not supposed to know? I can't tell you. You aren't supposed to know either. That my mother slept with several of the men in the neighborhood during the time my dad was very ill and literally dying. The kind of porn my dad liked when I was still living at home. And one of his Google searches was the brothel of a city he was visiting for a business trip. He wasn't very good at hiding this stuff. Never told anyone and probably never will. My boss CC'd me an accounting list on accident. She didn't even realize she did it. Never brought it up to me. Never called me into her office to say so about that. When my dad died, the associate pastor of my mom's church did a eulogy and talked about how devastating cancer is. That pastor used to attend a different church, but had to leave after she faked cancer for 2 years. Her husband left her and her daughter disowned her after they found out. My mom was the secretary at the church, so she knew and had already told me, and my dad's funeral was only like 2 years after that. I would have walked up to the podium and punched her in the face were it not disrespectful to my parents. My COO is supposed to be retiring soon and I'm going to be promoted to a training position under the CEO. I know about your secret affair with Susan, David. Spent a day getting drunk with my father, who I'm not that close with and hasn't really been involved in my life much even though he lives 1 street away from me. Found out that the true reason that my parents split when I was 2 years old was due to my mother sleeping with my father's brother while my father was in prison. Also learned that my father used to beat my mother. They both used to do drugs and shady shit. And also learned that my father had the chance to have joint custody of me but he didn't bother going to the several court dates that were made to settle the matter. The last one hurt the most to learn. And AMP X200B. You can learn a lot of secrets when you get people drunk, but some things should just be left buried. I have a copy of a private investigative report on criminal conduct that the local Don unsuccessfully sued for to use in a criminal complaint. As a result, the subject of the report is still practicing because he was acquitted. I legally can't do a thing with it even though I know he's still working with young people. Nice try B. Who he cheated on his wife with. My 1/2 brother from my mom's previous marriage is also his supposedly full sister's 1/2 brother as well. We all grew up as if his dad was my sister's dad. But going through old photos I found his baby book that had a different man listed as the father. I went back to it and my mom had ripped the page out. She doesn't know I saw it. He doesn't know his dad isn't actually his dad. It was kind of a whelp. There's that moment for me. One more thing to unpack in therapy one day. And I do know she didn't cheat on the husband. I was able to do some snooping before she trashed the page and it was just shortly after birth that she got with the ex-husband. HR once sent me a list of wages for everyone in my department right up to the VP. It included my boss, my boss's boss, etc. At first glance, it looked harmless. But they had only filtered the list by job title so I wouldn't see anyone above me. I told my boss and I'm pretty sure the person who sent it just got to do Excel better next time. Talk. My mom made my sister invite me to the baby shower. We are all slowly dying from oxygen. It's slowly killing you. My boss at a place I used to work would go on road trips with a crew of product installers. They'd spend the night sharing a couple of hotel rooms. The boss would take pictures of his, all male, employees while they slept. He is unhappily married with 3 grown children. There is plenty of evidence that he is gay but deep in the closet. We all wished he would just come out and make everyone's life easier. The reason that my mom divorced my dad. True story BTW. Every petty little secret my wife's family has. Those little things like, don't tell Anne, but Bob spent too much money on his new car. The secret gets spread around quickly but no one will talk about it openly. How much my brother jacks off and more. And AMP X200B. I often walk in on him. He's an adult now at 18 and I am 14. and I pretend I don't realize. But one day I walk into his room and he is asleep, dick in hand, porn on his phone, and I just back out the room and break down from how much this happens. And amp. X200B. My brother also had a video of him smoking a blunt and having sex with a girl on his phone. 2 different videos. He didn't do both at the same time. And amp. X200B. Fun fact. I deleted those videos off his phone a day before my mom searched his phone, and he then told me the day after to stay away from his phone. This arsehole gets saved by me and then yells at me. Your bedtime. Go to sleep. My mom is having an affair with her spouse of 15 years. I saw the sexts. Gross. Deleted. That my not married to my dad mother enjoys threesomes. She's not the most tech savvy person in the world and accidentally posted a threesome request publicly on Facebook. My supervisor is really close to getting fired. Upper management isn't supposed to talk about it, but they do. Probably because we'd all quit if we thought she was staying. She sucks. So I'm part of this thing called Fight Club. That my mom was a lying, cheating slut while she was younger, and out of my 4 siblings, we had 3 different dads whose life she entirely ducked over by pulling the crying white woman card. That could never be wrong. Would this be a case of entitled parents? Because it's not as bad as the ones on there, but my mom would never accept she was wrong. My ex told me that his brother was a test tube baby. He's an adult now, and still has no idea. More than likely, in the US you will be moved to the next grade even if you are failing, especially in elementary and middle school. I got autofilled on a friend's company's contractor notes list. I saw proprietary pricing info that was valuable to their contractors and clients. Dunning-Kruger effect. I know I suffer from it, but I am supposed to be blissfully ignorant of my condition. My father is a sex addict. That some of my extended family members told my mom to get an abortion when they found out about her being pregnant with me. My aunt told me this and was like, but you knew that, right? I just nodded and said yep. OFC lying because I didn't know that shit at all. Note, they didn't think she was ready to have a kid at the time. She was 25 and was looking for a job and a place to live. I do know my mom wouldn't have done it, and that my extended family loves me, and I love them. I just was left there not knowing how to feel about it. Honestly, I still don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm just upset that my mom didn't get the support she deserved. It also makes me want to question what ifs, but I stopped that train before it makes me think too much about it. Just found out from my mom. My boyfriend's mom used to service all the men at a local fire department, unmarried or married. Some of the men even got in trouble and were suspended.